Running a Fever with your host, Michael Davis. Episode 97.
So, welcome to Running a Fever. We're at Hobbs State Park. First time I've been here, and we're going on the Shaddocks Hollow Trail. This is about a 1.5 mile trail. We're gonna do some hiking today. I know everybody's really anticipating episode 100 coming up. I love my life, and that's why I do this. I love my life so much that I want to make it last as long as possible, and that's why I concentrate on medicine, fitness, and diet in this show called Running Fever. Also got the brand new Running a Fever official t-shirt on today. And if you haven't received your Running a Fever official workout gear, then it's probably because you haven't contacted me yet, or you hadn't contacted me at this point in time. So be sure to provide feedback. You never know what the rewards may be. I have given t-shirts free of charge to my most devoted listeners. And I don't know you're a devoted listener unless you let me know. Kind of warm today for the 15th of September when I'm recording this. It's about 10:30 in the morning and already almost 80 degrees. It's been cooling off lately, and I really enjoy the fall season weather and all the beautiful leaves falling off and all the good things that happen in fall. It's just really a good psychological season for me, just to enjoy all that. Even though in recent times I've come to like summer a little more than I used to, fall is still my favorite. Well, I understand this trail is going to be of medium difficulty. So far it's pretty nice. There's a gravel kind of trail, not like the Devil's Den trail that I've been on a couple of times that just has big rocks basically that you have to climb and descend. But there are lots of trees. Just about every few feet there's a tree. This is a thick forest that we're going through right now. Hobbs State Park surrounds or is on the edge of Beaver Lake, which is a large, maybe formed by WPA dam or something. Corps of Engineers. Just have a salute to the Corps of Engineers right now. Appreciate all the work they've done throughout the decades. So, mammal rodent department. You didn't get a picture of them, but we saw a bunch of skins. This is the only place I've seen this type of display. About 10 or so hides, skins, furs of various mammals were spread out on a table, and the game is you have to guess which one is which. And I don't think I got many of them right. Anyways, you know I'm very familiar with squirrels, but I probably did not even guess the squirrel correctly. So once their skin is off, it's not as easy to identify them. But that's one of the probably unique or very rare types of activities that you can participate in here at Hobbs State Park near Rogers, Arkansas. So it is really getting close to episode 100. I know you've been anticipating that. I've been working really hard on it, putting a lot more hours into it than I normally would, because I've been going back and, grabbing the key clips from a lot of the episodes that we've had over the last almost a year. It's September, so at least 10 months. We started in the beginning of November of 2017, and now we've got maybe 6 weeks until we get there again in 2018. A lot of changes happen, and you'll hear all about that in episode 100, but it's not just going to be a rerun or a group of reruns. It's some additional material there. We're going to talk about going forward, what's going to change, and what kind of differences you'll see today. So today's the first real hiking episode. So this is the first right here, and we're still breaking new ground in the show. I believe in order to have a life that's healthy and long, you need to have a variety of activities that are physical, that give you a lot of different experiences. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is put a little variety in my what otherwise would be a routine, make it a little less routine. So here I am on the trail, recording remotely from a place very far from the city in the Lake Fayetteville Trail where I usually record. So I've been on a cutting diet for weeks now, actually the end of July, so that's about 6 weeks I've been on this cut. I'm trying to lose weight basically and doing it relatively slowly, but I still like to see progress. And I made quite a bit last month, lost 4 pounds. I've actually been down to 198 is my lowest so far, which would be 4. Amy's going to get me with the live math here. 4 minus 6, so 76 pounds at that point. But I'm up a little bit at 201 pounds, and I've been here for several days, and I'm already halfway through September, so I should be at 196. So by the end of September. So, I mean, I've still got some time. I was kind of ahead most of last month and just 1 pound behind at this point, 2 weeks in. 4 more pounds to lose this month, but I'm trying to be patient and not get extreme. So feeling really good about body fat, which has been going down recently, it hadn't gone down for a long time. And then, it stayed around 29, 30 for the longest time. So it's good that I was maintaining that, but since I was losing weight a little bit, kind of indicated that I was losing muscle as well as fat, which could be expected, but now I'm losing more fat. So I'm down to between 26 and 27% body fat, which is good. My goal is going to be something less than 20% eventually. But at some point, I'm going to need to maintain a weight and not go below a certain weight. I don't know if that's going to be harder or easier. Anyway, for now, signs are looking fairly good, and I'm not really significantly behind on my weight loss plan. Still pretty much on a pace to lose 100 pounds by Christmas. And at this point today, we were down 73 pounds for the year. Howdy.
Gonna get warm here very quick.
Yeah.
I think we picked the wrong way to go. This way's all uphill.
That's right. Yeah, if we'd gone the other, well, we still would have had to go back up eventually. I mean, but if you could go up first somehow, maybe park at the beginning of the trail at some other point, I don't know. It might be easier. That's the way it is at Devil's Den. You go up and then you go down. Pretty steep here. Yeah, I noticed you've been swatting those things. It's probably your detergent is attracting them. I'm going to get fly defense next time. My shirt probably still has all the chemicals in it from process of making it or whatever, preparing it. Hiking, I think, is pretty good exercise. Will get your heart rate up a little bit, but for the most part, it's not really cardio or aerobic. It's just, it gives you good, you get to work on your stability, and also get careful. You'll also get some muscle building as well. So this morning I didn't have any protein around, any good breakfast protein anyway, so I had a protein shake before I came out, and I did have plenty of carbs because I got my waffles this morning. And I'm also trying a new sort of, this is interesting, some railroad tie steps going down a steeper part of the trail. Very glad to have them, although they don't feel that steady. Coming up these is going to be fun. So I'm using, speaking of supplements, I'm using a pre-workout supplement. And I'm not sure what's in it because the ingredient list is very small. I started using, I know there's probably some caffeine and some other energy drink type of stuff designed to make a workout more enjoyable, decrease the feeling of fatigue, and of course provide more energy. 0 calories or less than 5. Water. Debarking some of these trees might have had a disease or something, I don't know. And they're marked don't know if that's for the trail or for somebody's going to cut them down. And for a while I've been on a post-workout supplement. It's also 0 calories, and I have it with diet juice instead of water. And that is really creatine, and it's supposed to improve muscle building. Now, obviously you don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's actually affecting my muscle building. We're at a crossroads. Did you bring that map with you?
Okay, so we're gonna go head that way.
That's what I think.
Okay.
All right, new adventures, uncharted territory. Or if it's charted, it's not on the internet. Maybe there'll be hidden treasure along this trail. So I was saying, I think that I'm actually building muscle now, despite the fact that I'm losing weight. I've been losing weight pretty much all year. Although I did have May, June, and July.
Hi.
Howdy. Which way do we go if we want to go farther?
I would just keep going that way. Yeah, there's a... Yeah, if you go back up to the trail, you keep going that way and it'll keep going.
Oh, okay.
There's plenty of other walkways, like walk-offs, and you'll see them.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Maybe it's the same one.
Oh, this is just a little branch of it.
Yeah.
It's unique. They only live like a day, right? So
Hopefully something eats it, maybe.
Don't go canoeing.
keep going. It's pretty hot out here. Have a good day.
Bye.
A little distracting trail off the main course. Apparently, I thought it might be the end of the main course, but it doesn't seem like it's been that long. It's supposed to be 1.5 miles. So we went down to some water. I'm going to try to see if we can continue on. New adventure, uncharted, undefined. We saw some people there sitting out in the sun. Well, it kind of looks like there's something going around there. There's so many splits on this thing. Anyway, so I did have a leveling off time where I increased my metabolism and sort of stayed at 212 roughly for 3 months or so. So I might have been able to build muscle, but I wasn't really working out that hard at that point, and now I've gotten into a pretty good routine. Now that I have a workout partner that doesn't let me slack off to doing weights probably at least twice a week. And so I think should be having some consistent results there. But supplementation may be helping. I just know it's working, and I'm losing weight and gaining muscle slightly anyway. Really happy if I just maintain the muscle while I get down to my goal weight. It's always kind of been a question of how low can you go with deficit, calorie deficit. And I've started, as you know, my attention drifts from various sources of information. So I always should take this stuff with a grain of salt, but I picked up the Bigger, Leaner, Stronger book that I've been talking about for a while, or I talked about at least 20 episodes ago when I was into that. I'm going to try to finish it. So these book reviews last months, but they eventually will complete, I think. So far, the information I've gotten from what I read during breakfast this morning, lizard, another railroad tie device, little bridge, kind of a dry creek bed off to the right. So I talked about basal metabolic rate, and I got that I did get a basal metabolic rate of, it's a little over, between 1,700 and 1,800 calories a day. And what Matthew says in Bigger, Leaner, Stronger is that you should never go below that, because that is the point at which you start experiencing metabolism slowdowns. And is that the railroad tie? No.
Oh, you want to go see the cave?
Sure. Knew it was coming eventually. What goes down must come up. It's a cave. So if there's buried treasure, it's probably right here. And if you got cell service, you might be able to find it. Much cooler than the rest of the area. Thick trees. It's all green now. Gonna change pretty soon. making our way down the treacherous trail from the Pirate's Cave. Knee is doing well. Been doing well recently. Of course, that's always a concern. But I've been able to do that elliptical machine without giving my knee problems. So that's good. I know I gotta test it a little bit or it'll never get stronger. Spiders could be busy. But why would you want to go below your basal metabolic rate anyway? Because that's the calories that you burn every day during your normal metabolism without doing anything. There's no reason to go below that. And actually, that's kind of been my goal calorie count during this cutting period is 1,800 calories a day. Now with normal activity, that would probably, from what I've heard, and this is of course, averages always are averages. They don't directly apply to individuals, but average calorie needs for a man are 2,500, for a woman are 1,800. That's with normal activity, not your basal metabolic rate. And in the United States, on average, we get more than that. 2,000 for women and 2,700 for men. And that's why 70% of us are overweight or obese. That includes me right now. I'm overweight, even though people have been telling me not to lose any more weight. Official numbers say otherwise. And if I'm being real optimistic, then the fact that my body fat is going down and my weight is not decreasing a lot could be indication that, well, it is an indication that my body composition is changing for the better. But I still need to lose weight, and I don't want to stop building muscle in the process, and don't want to go below 1,800 calories, which is a tough balance to maintain. And to be honest, my weight has changed and my body composition has changed since February when I had that basal metabolic rate taken. And I now have a formula, thanks to Matthews, that I can, and I will put that in the show notes for today, calculate my new basal metabolic rate. And I can probably go down a little more in my calorie count for each day. And it's not as easy as it sounds maintaining this thing. I mean, I guess if you keep the same diet, a lot of the adjustments I make are very small. Have some smart balance in my breakfast. Oh, this looks familiar. It's another cave. And my breakfast oatmeal, maybe some fruit. The snacks I eat these days are usually, occasionally have yogurt, but it's shifting more towards fruit. Dried bananas, dried apples, raisins, and nuts. Kind of switched to pecans after the allergic episode with peanuts, but those can be some high calorie foods that are tasty and relatively good for you. Maybe water over there, but it's kind of hard to tell the difference. At this point, I'm glad I wore running shoes instead of my boots, because on the hills, well, I don't know. I guess my boots have rubber soles, so I could still get a pretty good grip. More ankle support, so I just have to be careful. Just about fell there thanks to a sapling to keep me going. Pretty steep here. And this is going to be a good moderate workout. Got an incline coming back. I don't know. My watch, of course, thinks I'm still asleep, but got a good 9 hours sleep last night. Rare for me to get that these days, but I'm really trying to do that. So much I want to do in life. Time is the most valuable resource. How I spend it It's important, and whether I love my life, whether I'm doing something valuable, just for myself, for others, making the world a better place. Another dry creek bed. You wouldn't think there'd be so much dryness with everything we've experienced, but since we're probably at a higher elevation, don't really know that, just kind of taking a wild guess. May have something to do with the mild winter we've had in terms of precipitation. So my official Running a Fever t-shirt has gotten its initiation today. Just very much soaked with sweat out here. Fortunately, not much sun. We've been got this canopy of trees over us. Really makes it pleasant. Medical department. I think I may have figured out how to get a lower measured blood pressure during biometrics checkpoints.
There you go.
Dog is smarter than I am. He's hydrating in the middle of his walk. No thanks. You know, I need to actually read the guidelines on what to do and how to get, because the people who take the do the biometric screening have put out guidelines on what to do. But apparently, exercise will increase blood pressure for a short period of time. The shorter the period of time, the better shape you're in. And so what I did was I had no caffeine or minimal caffeine for the entire day before and the morning of my check-in. No strenuous activity the entire day before and the morning of my check-in. And my blood pressure came in on the first try of, I think about, well, it was 120 something over 70 something, which is well in the range that I'm trying to go for. Exercise actually improves your blood pressure. However, you don't necessarily want to start exercising right away if your blood pressure is extra high or extra low. You may want to consult a doctor. I'll try to put a link into my source for this in the show notes so you can check that out. Blood pressure is an important indication of your medical health, and in my case can save me money on insurance. So today, hopefully building muscle, and it feels like I may be giving my heart a workout at this point too, because we've been steadily going uphill. And also one of the things, I want to try to find this website also that sort of helps determine your real age in terms of your health, and statistics for how long people generally live. One of the big things on there is, do you do exercise at least 4 times a week that causes you to breathe hard enough that it's difficult to talk? Which you might be able to tell is almost happening here. But I've been doing that more regularly now, and I think the pre-workout supplements helping me to do that, because it's really hard sometimes to push myself, especially when I haven't had much to eat in the morning. Yeah, we're getting a good workout today. Yeah, it sounds like I hear the road, see what looks like cars up there. So, I don't know how long. 0.32 miles, that can't be right. It's only going for 11 minutes, so I'll have to look at the total numbers. But so I've been, I talked about this a while back, and I've actually started getting in the routine of actually doing what I talked about. There's an episode entitled, I'm not sure exactly what the title is, but it's something like a new strategy. I think that's the title of it. And my new strategy was to do long walks on Saturdays, and in this case I'm trying to substitute some other activity, but also to work in some weight training and some high intensity interval training, or HIIT. And that's what I've been doing usually Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Matrix has some great machines that show a picture of your heart. Amy thinks it looks like a steak instead of a heart, but either way it's pumping. So and you know, you can just go on a target heart rate. And I need to do some more research on this, but I've basically chosen, you enter your age and everything, and I put 50 in for my age because that's what the real age site says I am. Your weight and some other factors, and from that the program determines your maximum heart rate, and then you choose a percentage to go to your target heart rate. So that's been really good. And so wow, we're already done. Didn't think I had much to talk about, but there you go. So anyway, feeling feverish still, and hope you are too. I'll talk to you next time.
This is the Padua Podcast Network. PaduaMedia.com.